Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey you guys, welcome back to Sunshine Haze. Go. I am Aja A, for those of y'all that have never seen one of my videos. We're back on track again. Here we go. This time around, this video is for my sister water signs, my brothers in the water element, the Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Scorpio Rising. So if you feel like what I'm saying in this video is not resonating with you, go on and check out your moon and or rising sign. This is a general reading, okay? If you, just kidding, I just said that. So this is going to be our typical 4-card spread, looking at the Cancer lunar cycle. So that is the beginning of July to the beginning of August. And we're going to be looking at the energies popping up for you, or the energy that you need to be tapping into, Scorpio. Also, any crossing energies that may be coming in for you, any obstacles you might be dealing with over the next month. And because we are talking about Cancer energy, looking at what you need to nurture, where you need to put your love and time and energy during this next month. And then as always, a quick little soul message, something extra for you to take away with you from this reading, okay? The first card, we're going to get right into it, Scorpio. The first card that we have coming up, before I start talking to y'all about these cards, y'all have an interesting ass spread this time around. So just bear with me, because there's a lot of shit going on in this one for y'all, which doesn't surprise me because it is a water lunar cycle, and it is a lunar cycle with a water sign on an eclipse axis. So there's a lot of change and transformation popping up for you guys, because you guys will more than likely be touched by this a little bit deeper than people with other elements in their charts. All right, now let's start talking about what you got popping off. The first card that I have popping up for you, Scorpio, I'm excited about. You've got new life. So this does tell me during this next month, some of you guys are moving into new spaces, new places, new chapters, new energies. Closing up certain cycles, coming into new cycles. You're just in this headspace and in this physical space of, okay, my energy has shifted, and I hope for some of y'all, my energy has, for most of y'all, my energy has ascended, and I am no longer resonating with what I was resonating with before. You guys are in new spaces, and I like this. I like the artwork on this card because it shows this little chick coming out of, y'all, I just realized that's an eggshell. I thought it was a seashell this whole time. But she's cracking out of an eggshell, so what the fuck? She's coming out of her shell. Let's just put it to you like that. So you are really emerging from being, I don't want to say like restricted, but you were in, I guess we could put it like some sort of bubble. Something was going on, a different type of life you were living prior to now. But now you guys are coming out of that and coming into a new space, into a new energy, into new places, around new people, new situations, just doing new shit. And I really like that for you guys, Scorpio. Very positive energy popping up there. So just understand during this next month, if you haven't already started to shift your energy or come into new chapters, that is what's going to be popping up for you going into August. And as I like to tell y'all, as change comes in, don't be resistant, especially the water signs. We are water, y'all are water. Let the currents take you where you need to go. And I know a lot of y'all have been looking at everybody in these past couple of weeks like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? People don't know how to deal with our energy, but this is a good time for you, with this being the Cancer lunar cycle. You tap into that water energy and you let them waves take you to where you need to be, because where you need to be is super popping, baby. So like, yes, I'm excited for you guys. New life. So this just means new shit is popping off for you, new chapters, new things are coming in for you. And I get a very positive energy surrounding that card. So props to y'all. Congratulations. Whatever. Oh, some of y'all Scorpios might be pregnant. Also, sidebar. Or finna get pregnant. This is a general reading, so don't come to my neck, y'all. Next card that you have popping up is actually my favorite card in the deck, but it is in a crossing position for you. So this is why I said y'all got a lot of shit going on. This is the High Priestess. The High Priestess has her shit together. She knows what's going on because she's been quietly watching everybody and everything. So she knows how to make her moves. She feels what's supposed to be happening, and she can kind of see the future. She knows how things are going to play out because she's given everything careful consideration, right? But she's in a crossing position in your spread. This crossing your new life energy, y'all in this new energy, in this new space, and y'all don't know what the fuck to do. It's just kind of like, ooh, it's lit. What we doing here? You know? So the High Priestess is a very important energy because it resonates a lot with intuition, which deals with following your gut and doing the things that your soul is called to do. This is in a crossing position, so this could tell me that your intuition is off. So what I get with that card popping up there like that, I really only have one message for you, is for Scorpio, be careful. And I don't know why, but you guys need to be careful. You're in this new space, in this new place. Don't be so caught up by all the shiny things, everything that glitters. Just, you know, it's cool, tap into it, enjoy your new life, but also you still have to resonate in a little bit of Scorpio energy and keep your eye on what the fuck is going on, okay? High Priestess crossing you tells me that your intuition might be a little bit compromised, and that could be energetically, or that could be by somebody around you, either, you know, kind of making you think what you're feeling is off. But y'all, we in a Cancer lunar cycle. I guarantee you what you feeling is right. Let me just tell you that. So don't let anybody take you away from what you feel called to do. Also, if you feel like something is off or something is wrong or something doesn't sit well with you, Scorpio, it is a new life, but you also got to be smart, okay? And I feel like that's an important message there with that High Priestess energy. This also tells me that although you guys are moving into this new chapter, new space, you might not be completely prepared for what you just got yourself into or got yourself out of. The High Priestess sits quietly, observes, and knows what's going on. This card being in a crossing position tells me that you guys may have just made some moves that, you know, are in the long run are good for you, but as of right now, it might seem a little hazy. You might not understand necessarily what's going on or why things are playing out the way like this, or like you might have had certain shit planned out a certain way and then it all went left or it all went right and it didn't do exactly what you thought it was going to do. But again, everything happens in divine timing, as it should, when it should, and how it should. Just be very careful in the moves that you make during this next month. Aside from water being water and we are dealing with our feelings, that means that you guys could also be a little bit impulsive in regards to your emotional reactions. So just be mindful, just be careful. Pay attention to your intuition, but more so pay attention to what your intuition is telling you not to do during this lunar cycle. I think that's very important for y'all, okay? The next card that I have popping up for you guys in your spread is one of my all shit cards. And this is in the position of what you need to nurture, where you need to put a little bit of love. And so this is, again, why I said y'all's spread is all over the place. Five of Swords in the position of what you need to nurture. This is not necessarily my favorite card, but that popping up there, Scorpio, what I get, this is an earthworm. If you look at the, sorry, Chelsea, if you look at the imagery on the card, it's an earthworm. And you guys, when you were little, maybe y'all were not like me, but y'all know you can cut earthworms in half and they're like, they still do their thing. They just become two little different worms. So this card popping up here, Scorpio, I get the sense of, for those of y'all that saw Us and for those of y'all that watch Stranger Things, I get this sense of, Chelsea, mama, what's the matter? Are you having a nightmare? You're fine, mama. Get this sense of there being, like, you know, they say the tethered or the upside down. There just being some habits or a perspective. This is an air card, or the way that you communicate. And I more so pick up on this coming from you, Scorpio. Something that you're doing, or the way that you're thinking, or the way that you're looking at things, or the way that you're making moves during this time or leading up to this time. You know what? I feel like this is what got you to this new life. And although this is very positive energy, what got you here, you could have done a little bit differently. This card popping up here is saying, Scorpio, you need to, it's kind of like you need to check yourself. And y'all know I keep my readings very real. I do not sugarcoat shit. So if you don't like the real, go on and click out of my video now. But what this card is telling me is, Scorpio, you need to check yourself. How have you been talking to people? Is it cool? Is it right? Scorpio, how have you been looking at life? Does it make sense? Is it pessimistic? You know what I'm saying? Scorpio, how have you been making moves? Have you been on the shadow side of your sign, being sneaky and manipulative? You know what I'm saying? So there are certain things about your own behavior, Scorpio, that you need to be doing away with during this lunar cycle. And I think this is what's causing this hindrance here and making this high priestess come up in a crossing position. So Scorpio, basically you need to check yourself. And I know y'all Scorpios don't like to hear that. Trust me, I know a lot of Scorpios, and it is what it is. Sometimes y'all can be kind of shitty. Like, that's just what it is. I'm sorry. I love y'all. Y'all are actually one of my favorite signs, but sometimes y'all rock with a really shitty energy when you are resonating on your shadow side. And I think a lot of you are resonating a little bit on your shadow side. And although it put you into this new life position, understand that this is not going to be positive and abundant so long as the high priestess card is crossing you, for one. And two, so long as you're still carrying around these old habits and still communicating in shitty ass ways and talking to people like you ain't got no sense. And also as you're still making moves that don't serve you or serve the people around you, if that makes sense, or serve your situation. So Scorpio, what are you doing during this month? What have you been doing during this month? Go on and take a look at that. Go on and see if you can work through that and start to make some shifts in your life. This is water. It's a water lunar cycle, and we are on an eclipse axis. So this is all about change and transformation. And Capricorn has to do, it's a Cancer Capricorn axis. Excuse me, I made it all the way through the video, almost. So Cancer is more about, nurturing internal. Capricorn is about the way that we present ourselves to the world and our foundation. So Scorpio, how are people looking at you? Not that it really matters, but you don't want people looking at you and thinking that you have bad energy surrounding you, if that makes sense, because what you put out is what you get back. So Scorpio, what have you been putting out? And is it good? What do you need to change? What do you need to cut off? Excuse me, sorry y'all. And I'm sorry I just had to come at y'all's necks like that, but listen, it is what it is. So the last card that you guys have coming up in your spread, you know what? I have a popsicle. I ain't got nothing to drink, but I got a popsicle. And I think we're back in business. The last card you have coming up in your spread is trees. And this is in the position of the soul message. And this card resonates with community. It also resonates with the number of 19. So endings and new beginnings, coming into new spaces and new places, right? All that new life energy. However, you got community here. And you remember I was just talking about Scorpio. What have you been doing? How have you been treating people? How have you been talking to people? You have very intense energy. You have very powerful energy, and your energy is water, Scorpio. So you have the ability to touch people and to touch people's hearts in ways that other people cannot. It is very important for you to understand that you are not in this life alone, Scorpio, so you can't treat people like you're in this life alone. And that doesn't mean you're in a relationship. That doesn't mean you got hella friends. It doesn't mean that your family is perfect. It just means that there are people around you that care about you. There are people around you that care about what you got going on. But you have to understand, Scorpio, that this community, this foundation is not going to be strong so long as you resonate in this Five of Swords energy. You're moving into new chapters. You're moving into new spaces. You're dealing with a little bit of haziness in regards to exactly what it is you should be doing or understanding why you're in these new spaces or how you got to these new spaces. But it is important for you to not burn your bridges along the way. I think that, I don't know why, this is, and again, I said y'all's reading is very all over the place. This is kind of like an outlier, but I think it's very, very important for you guys to remember not to burn your bridges. Don't be cutting things off prior to. Don't be staying into shit longer than you need to, because that's another way to burn your bridges. Just understand that your support system is there for you if you need it, and your support system is also there to keep it real with you so that you can tap into this high priestess energy upright, and so that you can cut off the habits that you need to cut off. So if your friends are telling you that you're tripping, Scorpio. If your family is telling you, hey, you need to let up on this and let up on that, guess what you need to do? You need to let up on this and let up on that. The things coming in for you during this month in particular. Now, I'm not saying take everybody's word for it and run with it all the time, 24/7. But during this particular month, the messages coming in for you and the communications coming in for you, the downloads that you're receiving, whatever is coming your way. These are things that you really need to hear and that you need to know. And again, you guys are very intuitive. You understand how to process things and what works for you and what doesn't, okay? Just keep that in mind. be very mindful about the way that you interact with others and the way that you communicate with others. And then also really take into consideration what habits you need to get rid of and what perspective you need to shift and what communication you need to improve upon. And live your best life, because it's coming up for you, Scorpio. You're like at the beginning stages, getting ready to walk into that little door of the new life. It's just, and I say this in a lot of my spreads, you can't carry around old baggage into new chapters. So you can't carry around old shit that don't work for you into this new life, because where will you find yourself? Right back at square one that you done passed a while ago and decided that's not where you want it to be anyway. So just be very mindful during this next month. Allow this eclipse energy to wash over you and actually change and shift things for you, and try not to be resistant towards the change. Actually be your element, be water. As I've been saying, y'all are water, so we could just swim through it. But, you know, if you're having a little bit of a hard time, get you a boat and float, my G. That's really all there is to it. Okay, y'all, that's your reading. I hope that resonated with you. If you feel like you need a little bit more insight or would like your own personal reading, feel free to book one with me. I've got my info linked down below. Also, if you're interested in the collective energies dealing with this Cancer lunar cycle and solar eclipse, go on and check out my video on it. That is linked down below as well. And also throughout the summer, I will be doing eclipse readings and retrograde readings. They are on sale. Go on and head to my Etsy shop if you're interested in booking one of those. And I've got that link down in the description box too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.